Alright everybody, and welcome to another edition of Bill Chasing the Movies. And before I get started tonight, I would like to thank the Fair family, Dave, Mike, and Wayne, for letting me use their house and their belongings to do this show this week. Hopefully the show will be back to its original format within a week. Okay, I'm going to get right to it. This week, first film I'm reviewing is called Armored, and this one is one of your typical bank heist action capers that, you pretty much see all the time these days, but really, it's just another prototypical yada yada action film. However, at least this film makes an effort to tell a decent story and has some pretty good chase scenes, to be honest with you. Now, Columbus Short, best known from the dreadful Stomp the Yard films, plays Ty Hackett, a man who's desperately trying to raise his younger brother after their parents have been dead for nearly a year. Now, of course, it's how it prototypically starts. He's working the job, yada yada. But anyway, I'm not making fun of the plot. Fact of the matter is, he meets his friend Mike, who also works at the armored truck, where he's not getting enough hours, and as he asks for them, he doesn't get them. However, Mike has a plan. Mike is played by the always reliable and very talented Oscar-nominated actor Matt Dillon, and here he tries to help him out by saying they have a whole plan to rob the truck. And of course, you have this whole band of merry men, and some of them include some very talented actors, including Jean Reno, of course best known as The Professional, and Lawrence Fishburne, of course from The Matrix. Now, the problem with this film is that despite a decent story and despite some pretty good dialogue, it just cannot overcome its dreadful predictability. I mean, granted that there were some scenes in this film that I actually did enjoy watching, and the actors did a fine enough job. As a matter of fact, I have big hope for Columbus Short being a pretty talented action star one day, as he seemed to be really into the movie, and as everybody else did. Now, Matt Dillon is someone who I've always had great admiration for. He always gives the utmost top-notch performance in any role he can possibly do. On my last show, I reviewed him in the film called Old Dogs, which was a dreadful comedy starring John Travolta and Robin Williams, and he was actually one of the few highlights of the film. Now, the problem with this film, too, is the fact that if it had the right director or the right screenwriter, it wouldn't have been a classic, but at least it would have been a passable film that I could recommend for people to see. Now, I'm sure people of typical, they love turn off your brain action films, should enjoy this, and it's not terrible. It's just merely not good. And for all you from all you girls that are my age from the '90s, you'll may remember former '90s heartthrob Skeet Ulrich. He is actually in this film, plays one of the bandits. So yeah, that is a little nostalgia for you all, and he's best remembered for his Scream movies. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Anyway, Armor just, despite its effort, just cannot overcome its predictability. So I can only give Armored 2 stars out of 5.